Previously on the last Pokemon Challenge. If you are a trainer of Growlithe, please don't take a wee over them, they don't appreciate it. And coming up... Oh no, I spoke to her. She's going to want to try and chat me up. Today on Pokemon Crystal, we are running the bear again because I can't help myself. So yes, today we are running URSARING for the umpteenth time. Here in Pokemon Crystal, we're running it through our standard 4 moves challenge. We've not done URSARING in 4 moves yet. We did it in Supermon, and unfortunately we didn't get as far as I'd like in Supermon. So call this a bit of revenge, except we are against the clock. In the top right hand corner of the screen, you'll be able to see our 4 moves that I have chosen for this challenge. We're going for Headbutt, Return, Metal Claw of all things, and Earthquake. On the left-hand side of the screen, you can see some of the moves that are valid for URSARING. There are even more than that, because we have the egg moves as well, but the egg moves wouldn't fit on screen with this overlay at the moment, so we do get Metal Claw from its egg moves list. Now, if you are new to the 4 moves challenge, let me take you through it. If you are familiar, please do skip ahead about a minute or so. I will try and be as concise as possible with this. The 4 moves challenge is fairly simple. We grab our Pokemon, we get 4 moves from this lovely move tutor standing behind Professor Elm, and those are the only 4 moves that we will be able to use throughout the course of the challenge. We're not going to be able to catch any other Pokemon. All of the HMs have been replaced by HM items. Same with things like Teleport and Dig. We've got a key item Escape Rope for Dig, and we have a Rental Abra for Teleport. So that means we aren't going to be soft-locked at any point throughout this challenge, which is always nice to have. And finally, the timer will start once we cross that threshold of the bookshelves here in Professor Elm's laboratory, and it will finish for good once we defeat Red. The timer is responsive to my controller. It will start timing when I'm pressing buttons on the controller. As soon as I stop pressing buttons, the timer will stop. There's a little bit of delay either side, but they are perfectly in sync. That timer there is what we count for the challenge. We don't do milliseconds here, it's just a full second. The 4 moves leaderboard is already fairly well populated, so URSARING has its work cut out to get even into the top 10 at this point, but I am going to give it my best shot. And with that, we can now think about starting the challenge. So let's get this challenge underway. I'm really excited to run URSARING. It's one of my all-time favourite runs here in Pokemon Crystal, but we've never done it in 4 moves. We did it in Supermon, and we didn't get as far as I'd like, so call this a little bit of a rusty revenge. I am still very, very rusty at the game. I've done a couple of practice challenges around up into Goldenrod. That's where the movement is generally the worst, when I'm just getting started again. So I've made it to Goldenrod a couple of times in respectable time, so I'm about ready to start this challenge. Now, the 4 moves we've chosen for this challenge are Headbutt, Return, Metal Claw, and Earthquake, and the only one there that stands out really is Metal Claw. It's a way to increase our attack, so I think maybe in some of the later battles, especially against Blue, we might be able to get a quick, cheeky little attack up and maybe save a little bit of time that way. Again, might not work, but it's something to experiment with. That's what I love about the 4 moves challenge. We don't really know what the best learn set is for all of these challenges. It's a lot of trial and error. Of course, I exclusively do first attempts here. It's my jam. I like doing first attempts. I like seeing where my gut instinct takes me with the challenge. Sometimes I get it very, very right, and other times I get it incredibly hopelessly wrong, don't I? But that's part of the fun, it's part of the challenge, and it's how I enjoy doing the challenge runs, so I don't think that's going to change any time soon. However, there is going to be a little bit of a change on the channel. Not only are we doing that Pokemon Crystal Butt series, we saw the first one of those in the last video. That was Pokemon Crystal, but every step costs me money. A challenge I will not spoil, but it was definitely an experience, let's call it that. That one was really fun to record though, in all honesty, and I cannot wait to get on with the next one. I have an idea for it. It is going to be a very cursed run, and I'll leave it at that. So that will be out hopefully in the next couple of weeks or so. In the meantime though, we are hopefully, if my technical abilities are working correctly, going to get ourselves over to Generation 3 again. I've worked on the 4 moves patch for both Emerald and Fire Red, so we'll have to see just how it goes. That's for the future though. For the here and now, we are going to be facing Falkner, first gym leader, flying type specialist, already defeated. And we get just over dentist time for that 232 for the Zephyr badge. Let's get the heck out of here. Let us try and hopefully get the key escape rope from Professor Elm's aid. And then we shall move on. There we go. There's the key escape rope. Don't need to heal, so we can keep on going forwards. Going to get the Prosecure Berry. Probably going to be imperative to get the Prosecure Berry actually on this particular challenge. And finally, we have some wild encounters. We had really good wild luck until then, but now they're all going to come together, aren't they? It's just snakes everywhere. Are we at least going to be able to get out of here? Yes, we are. So that should be the last unforced wild encounter, providing I don't mess up my steps. And this is an unforced trainer battle. It's just more birds. Our bear has something against birds, so we're going to beat up a set more of them. Return isn't quite strong enough, and we can't use Earthquake, our backup move, because they're birds. So we are going to lose a teeny tiny bit of time here, but we will get some stat experience courtesy of it. Let's plonk on our repel in here now, and let us take on Hiker Daniel. I think he's going to be a good one to take on. Fairly easy battle. Onyx does outspeed us, but we critical hit and demolish the Onyx. Don't particularly want to take on that Hiker though. Not a particularly pleasant battle. We will, however, take on this Coughing trainer. Coughing should be a fairly easy Pokemon to knock out. We'll be seeing a few of those throughout the course of this challenge. And there are our first two. If we can get to Kurt's house in about 4.5 minutes, I'll be very happy. We're very much on track for that. We do need to do a very quick shop though. Let's get ourselves 9 repels. That'll see us fit. Until Azalea, we will have to do a quick PP heal now. And we'll get ourselves chatting with Kurt. Kurt's back is going to mysteriously become incredibly injured all of a sudden. No idea why it's suddenly so bad. I don't think he fell down that well at all. I think he's a liar and he's just lazy. But we can't dwell on that. We've got rockets to take on. The Rattata line, as much as I love it, it's also a bloomin' pest in solo runs because it has quick attack. So it's a 50-50 chance as to whether you're going to get outsped by it through unnatural causes. Talking of speed, our URSARING needs a bit of a rocket up its bum, really, and it doesn't have one. Only base 55 speed for our URSARING, so we're absolutely going to have to get the Quick Claw as soon as we go into National Park. I'm saying it now in the hopes that I will remember on the first sweep of National Park, because it's kind of important we have that to try and break the rollouts from Whitney. Still a little bit of a way to go until we get to Whitney, though. We've got another gym leader and a rival fight to get there first. So we'll start off by going into gym number 2. This is Bugsy's Bug-type gym. It's going to be an easy, trivial affair for us in here. There's not going to be much that will stand in our way at all. URSARING is just too good. URSARING is one of those Pokemon, even if it had just an extra 10 in speed, we would be looking at consistent sub-hour. I think it is just that good. The only Pokemon I think is roughly equivalent might be Zangoose from Generation 3. Zangoose, of course, gets Sword Stars at a ridiculously low level. This isn't Bugsy, by the way. That overlay lies. I can't even blame Automation on the overlay for that. That's just me being too happy with my right thumb on the right trigger. Because that, or should I say the right stick, because that's how I trigger the overlays. It's all automatic in some ways, but it does rely on human error. And you know me, I make a lot of human errors. Should be 2 shots here on this side. Get rid of Bugsy, grow to level 17. And we get our next badge, the Hive badge, in 6 minutes and 27 seconds. Very, very good stuff there. Let us now go and take on the second rival battle. We actually have rival title cards now. I know, it's a big, big shock. I actually, after how many years is it? Nearly 4 years, have bothered to make the title cards for the rival. I don't respect him still, but I thought it was about time that we completed the set. And I realised there was an easy check to determine which of the teams he'll have. And once I'd figured out that that check was actually embarrassingly easy, I had no excuse not to do it. Still don't have them in Gen 3 yet, but that's because Gen 3 is more complicated. I understand Game Boy Assembly, I don't understand Gen 3 code that much. I just wing it and hope for the best most of the time. And it's been working. We get the scythe. That is one of the HM items. Because here in the 4 Moves Challenge, we do not have to catch the HM friends. we just go and get the HM items. And with that in mind, we don't need to go and get the Headbutt TM either, because we already have it. We are going to get Sweet Scent though, because we can sell that for a little bit of cash money moolah later. And as we've seen in the previous video, cash money moolah is very, very important. It suddenly turns to night. Oh, that's a relic of my old overlay coming back. Because do you remember back, it must have been well before the challenge run patch. We used to start at whatever time of day it was. And then by the time we got to Ilex Forest, we'd have to force it to the night so that we could get our cider comparison counters. Oh, that's why that's changed. That's a really weird relic of the past. That was Kangaskhan who did that for me all that time ago, and it's still built on the same foundation. It's the same brain underneath, just with a few... No, we don't need Kenya. Not doing that run. It's the same brain underneath, just with a bit of a facelift, and then some extra brains inserted. Now, this route, it's called Spinner Hell, but we do have rotators on it in the 4 moves challenge, so hopefully we'll be able to time some of the more awkward trainers. And now, do you remember what I was saying about the Quick Claw? Was not quite there yet, but I'm saying it again so that I absolutely do pick it up. And feel free to mock me in the comments if I forget it now, because I've mentioned it and we're right in breathing distance of it. And do we remember it? Yes, we do, but we're going the wrong way. There we go. Let's get the Quickie C, and we will engage that as soon as we use the menu again. I try and consolidate my menuing into as fewer uses as possible. Just makes the run a little bit smoother, a little bit quicker, and makes it a little bit easier. We are going to go and defeat Psychic Mark here, and we'll go and take on Alan as well. I like using Alan as a bit of a litmus test, because seeing how much we do against the Tangela gives me a good idea of how well we are going to do in general. Now, we should have picked up the Rentalabra there, just like that. So we'll go and do a quick PP pit stop now, because we're going to keep this all the way until Olivine. But to give us some extra levels, we are now going to go into the underground, and we'll take on all of the Pokemon in here. They're fairly low leveled, so it shouldn't be too much of any kind of trouble. But it will hopefully give us the edge over Whitney. Whitney is one of the more awkward gym leaders out of the lot. She's just too fast with her cow. She can't hit that hard, but if rollout hits 3 or 4 times in succession, you're a little bit banjaxed. So we are playing for the RNG and hoping for the best here, at least. That's what my gut instinct is telling me. We will have to see how that goes. Return, by the way, is already at 54 base power, so that will do fairly well for itself in the next few battles as well. In fact, we probably could have gotten away with using Return on some of these Pokemon like Grimer, who doesn't have the best special defense in the world. Now, we will give the Quick Claw, and we shall use the Escape Rope to get the heck out of here. And it's just a trip to the right to get ourselves into gym number 3. This is Whitney's normal type gym. She's only got 1 mandatory trainer. This is Lascarry. Lascarry likes to lick, but there's going to be no licking our bear today. Because, of course, we're outspeeding it and we're the normal type. Talking of normal type, this is Whitney. She's a normal type leader, led with Clefairy that's gone down in 1. Here comes the cow. She locks us into Stomp for a second. Rollout hits, but we win. Very, very good stuff there. That Stomp was a little bit mean, caused an extra turn there, but nothing too bad to worry about. 11-17 for the plain badge. That means we can leave with our heads held high, and we should be pretty much good to go now. We are going to go and grab the squirty bottle, nearly forgot it, and we shouldn't need to worry about anything on the way to Olivine. We've got a couple of battles, but we've got 6 PP to our name. We've already taken on both of these. We will get rid of the Sudowoodo now. No shiny Sudowoodo today. And then we do also want to get the big hammer, actually. The big hammer could come in useful. So let's do that. Let us not be on the bike for this. And then we'll keep on going west. Must remember to stick on a rappel roundabout here. It is very useful to have. Oh, I don't like taking on Olivia. Although in the last challenge I did like taking on Olivia, but we have enough attack here to knock her out. We do want to get the Minceberry here because I'm not convinced we'll outspeed Morty even with Lighthouse. Let's get the Nougat as well from the Cowpoo, and we'll have to take on Norman. This won't be the last time we'll see Norman in recent times. I've got plans to see Norman, in about a video or two's time, actually. So we'll have to see how well Norman does in a different region. For now, though, we'll reunite the married couple with Derek and Ruth. Try and get some speed stat experience off the Pikachu. It's not much, but every little helps. I might even take on the Meowth lady. We never see the Meowth lady. Let's say hello to her. She's the one that's trying to split up Derek and Ruth. Meowth, fairly good in the old speed stat experience department, and the repel wears off just about there. Here comes the rival for no good reason. Doesn't try and battle us. He's learnt his ways for a little bit. And now in here, let's get ourselves just 11 of their finest super repels. We'll go and have a little chat with the strength man here. And we shall also go and do a quick PP pit stop, because my goodness, we need it. Down to 0, and our HP was pretty low as well. I'm an habitual healer in Generation 2, so I was a little bit uncomfortable leaving Goldenrod in the yellow HP, but it did all work out fine in the end. Just got to have a little bit more confidence, and I think playing with confidence is really important, especially in a speedrun adjacent environment like this. I'm at loath to call it a speedrun because I think those terms should be reserved for the official categories. But our speedrun adjacent category here, it's ostensibly the same mindset. And I think if you play with confidence, you're always going to play better than if you're umming and ahhing and second guessing yourself all over the place. That's when the mistakes come in. I've noticed that myself many, many times. And playing with the bear, I know the bear like the back of my hand. I know its limitations. I know what it can and can't do. So generally, I'm pretty good with it. Let's do another quick heal here. Now, we do have to hug the left for a little bit here to get past that sailor. And then we should be fine to get past Bird Keeper Toby. And up into the burnt tower we go. We chat with UC for the first and only time. We will go and stick on another regular repel. No sense in using the supers up quite yet. And we'll take on the rival for a third time. This is his burnt tower battle, and he leads with Haunter. We'll use Earthquake against the Haunter, and we'll get rid of it in one. We'll continue Earthquake against the Magnemite as well, and here comes Zubat. One shot on the Zubat with a headbutt, and it's probably going to be 2 shots on the Croconaw. Damageless Rival 2 takes us through, and that was about as good as we could hope. Let's fall through the floor now. We shall release those beasts, and then we'll very, very quickly use the escape rope, and we'll remember the HP up today. So in there we go. We get the HP up. And now, very quickly, before taking on Morty, I reckon it's going to be worth taking on the Kimono Girls. They're going to be fairly easy to take care of, and because we can't use any normal type moves in Morty's gym, this should be fairly free for us. It's going to be interesting to see how much we do against the Umbreon here. This is going to be a good test of our offensive capabilities. Oh, that's not bad at all. Getting Umbreon down to 1 HP, I wonder if that was a range or not. We'll have to see whether, on a repeat at some point, we can one-shot the Umbreon, because you can bet your ass this is not going to be the last time we see URSARING in 4 moves. It will probably be in a streaming environment next time. Let's get ourselves HMO3 and, more importantly, the Raft. Even on Pokemon, by the way, in 4 moves, where we have Surf on the Learn set, just for fairness with all of the other Pokemon, I will be still using Surf and getting the Raft that way. So there's going to be no time advantage because of the Learn set. That's one of the things that I want to make very, very important in the rule set for 4 moves. You can't have an unfair advantage just because you blooming learn something. That would be a little bit too much cheese, even for me, and I do like cheesing the game from time to time. Let us use our last Earthquake here against... Is this Sage Jeffrey? Yes, it is. He's got a single Haunter. And then we'll do a little bit of prep work in time for Morty. And the prep work is going to be changing the item from the Quickie Seed just to the berry for this one. And then we should likely use one of our Ethers as well. We'll restore Headbutt and we'll restore Earthquake. Now, I'm going to risk it for a biscuit a little bit against Martha here, and I'm going to see how much Metal Claw does. A critical hit doesn't really tell us anything. Oh, it is a one-shot. Perfect. That means we have more than enough PP for the next section, which is going to be the Lake of Rage. But first, we've got to take on Morty. He is our dual Ghost and Poison type spectacular leader, and he leads with Ghastly. I'm hoping for 4 one-shots here. I don't think there's going to be any other way around it. It's just whether we consume the berry or not, and we do, unfortunately. Never mind. It just means we'll have to go in with the Bitter Berry for the Chuck battle. That is the Fog Badge acquired, though, in 17 minutes and 36 seconds. Let's now start heading east towards the Lake of Rage. Stick on another rappel, and we can start heading lakewards. Now, the rappel has worn off. That's absolutely fine. We'll burn through our regular rappels. We are just going to take a tiny little detour here to grab one of the bitter berries, and then, because we've got Surf, we will go up this way. I do want to take on these 2 trainers. They're very good experience. We've got a Nidoking here. That's going to do a lot for our stat experience. And then we've got a Slowbro from Pokemaniac Ben as well. Again, very good experience for this point of the challenge. They're fairly underleveled, but they make up for it by the fact that they are fully evolved. Now, will we get the Blue Gyarados today? No, we won't. You may have noticed there is no flashing on the shiny Pokemon now. That's something that I have changed in this version of the Challenge Run patch. That is just so that it's a little bit softer on the old eye, because I did notice those flashes, especially from things like Poison and the shiny encounters, it could really start to hurt your eyes if you played and watched very, very frequently at 4 times speed like we do here. So yeah, got rid of them. Let's get the rare candy now, and with that, we can organise the bag a little bit. Let's get the Rentalabra all the way back to Olivine City. Over here, we're going to stick on another Super Repel, and we're just going to go straight over the waters now, because there ain't anything for us to do in Olivine yet. No, we don't want to get last swimmer K-lead. That would be a very, very bad thing. We will go and have a little chat with the man in the lighthouse here in the dodgy shop, and he is going to give us the secret potion. We'll be returning that to Jasmine fairly soon. In the interim, though, let's take on the fighting type gym. Now, this is the one gym where we technically have the type disadvantage, because it is mutual ineffectivity in the ghost type gym, but I don't think it's going to matter that much for our URSARING. I can't see too much standing in our way. Ooh! Didn't quite one-shot that Machoke there. That's a little bit mean, but again, shouldn't make any difference really going forwards. We do have the lung above the knob, as we always do here in this gym. And again, it's going to be a very, very simple battle. I am going to use another Ether, though, on Headbutt after this battle, because we do need to bag anyway. We'll use our last potion, clear up a bit of bag space, use a Super as well, actually. Then we will stick on one of the bitter berries. They're hiding in the bag from me. And then we'll use our last Ether on the Headbutt. That should give us more than enough power points now to take on Chuck. He is gym leader number 5. He's a fighting type specialist who leads with He led with Primeape. It's gone. Poliwrath, the same way. 3 hits, no damage, very easy badge. And that is Chuck's badge, the Storm badge, in 20 minutes and 36 seconds. That gives us access to fly. That means that we can go here, there, and everywhere now. Well, that's the housekeeping taken care of, as well as the rockets. I've picked up a few of the items that we'll need for the next part of the challenge. And having now defeated the rockets here in Mahogany Town, we are ready to go into our next gym. And it's just about here. This is Price's Ice-type gym. He's got Border Douglas guarding him. We shouldn't have too much trouble here at Border Douglas. We're going to use Return now as our main move for the next part of the challenge. It is now sufficiently strong enough to be taking care of even the bulkiest physical Pokemon. So let's now take on Price. He is our next gym leader. He is the Ice-type specialist of Mahogany Town, and he leads with Seal. Seal's a one-shot. Dugong is also a one-shot. We grow up to level 37, and then we don't quite one-shot the Piloswine. That is a range. We got the low roll, unfortunately, but we still get the Glacier badge in a very respectable 26 minutes and 14 seconds. Now, I did also go and defeat, or should I say return, the secret potion to Jasmine in the lighthouse as part of the housekeeping, so that means we're straight on to her. She is our next gym leader number 7. Steel type specialist, led with Magnemite. The Paramagnemite always going to go down. It's about this Steelix. We're doing over half damage. That's all we care about. She is now going to Healing Loop, And we do get the next badge. In how long was that split? Not very long at all for the Jasmine split. They're 32 seconds in total. That does now mean we can head back to... Oh, goodness me, it's an egg. Head back to Mahogany Town, and we'll start heading east now towards the ice path. I always like going to the ice path before doing the rocket section because there's some wonderful bits and bobs you can pick up en route to try and sell for a bit of money and also make your Pokemon stronger. There's also a pair of elixirs that we can pick up that mean we don't have to necessarily go out and Pokemon Center or PP heal while we're doing the rockets, and we know how long and tedious that rocket section is, so anything we can do to make it just a little bit shorter, we absolutely will do. Now, if you are new to 4 moves, the ladder isn't actually where the Waterfall HM is. There wasn't really the right space for it, so the ladder is in Tojo Falls. I've already been and picked that up, along with the rare candy near Tojo Falls there. So that does mean we don't need to worry about getting up any waterfalls. All one of them I think we see in the challenge in total. We're taking this shortcut through the ice path. We don't need the Nevermelt Ice today. I am risking it by not going for Ice Punch. I think Return will hopefully be fine against Lance, although Lance really is the crucial battle at the moment. I did do a vitamin shop as well in Goldenrod City, so I bought a bunch of protein so we can sell that next protein. Out here, we're going to use the egg balloon again to get ourselves into Blackthorn Pokemon Center. We do want to sell a few of the bits and bobs that I picked up that we no longer need, like this Nougat and, of course, the protein, because we won't need that anymore. I don't think we'll need the iron, definitely won't need an ice heal. Just clear up some bag space in preparation for buying our repels. We get 11 of the repels here, and that should see us fit now until the end of the challenge. Down here we get another elixir, always useful to have. Keeping on going further, still can't get past her, can I? We get the nugget, another nice item, and then if we cross over in the correct place here, we can go and get a PP up from the water. Hiding in the water, just being very, very shy, of course it is. But the last item we want to pick up is this extra Prosecure Berry, because you never know when a second one could have come in useful. But that's all the bits and bobs that we need to pick up done. So now we're going to skip ahead to rival number 4. And in a very, very quick time, we have already done the first part of the rockets. Very, very easy, so that means we're on to the 4th and penultimate rival battle. This time he's going to lead with Golbat. We'll use Return against the Golbat, it will be a one-shot. We'll use Return against Magnemite as well. Out comes the Haunter. We'll use Earthquake, guarantee the one hit against that. We'll Earthquake the Sneasel as well, save moving our move slot around. And then hopefully Return will be a one-shot on the Feraligatr. It is. Nice. Very, very good stuff there. Rival defeated in a very simple battle. Now, one of the other reasons I picked up Metal Claw, by the way, is because of just how good it is for spamming purposes against these low-level enemies. You can see we've had a lot of low-level enemies here in the rocket section, so having a move with 35 PP that's pretty much guaranteed to one-shot anything, it's not bad, you know. The only downside is it's only 95% accurate, but that only means that like 1 in every 20 will miss, and what are those odds? Definitely not odds that have screwed me over in the past. Anyway, I'm now going to get on with the rest of the rocket section. It's going to be long, it's going to be tedious, it's going to be boring. You don't want to see it, so we'll meet back up once it is done. And just like so much of the challenge before it, it's been one-shot city throughout the last part of the rocket section. We've only got the final executive left to go. He has a Houndour, a Coughing, and a Houndoom. And all 3 of them are one-shot by our lower-powered normal-type move with Headbutt. That means the rockets are done and dusted once and for all in this challenge. We can breathe a sigh of relief. We don't have to battle a rocket anymore in this one. We'll get the pink bow from Marie. We'll attach that and make our URSARING look very, very, very pretty. And now we definitely will not forget the radio card in this challenge. In the last video, I did forget the radio card and made the inaugural and only member of Team 11212 a little bit grumpy because I forgot it, but thank you, Kanbei, for the comment about forgetting the radio card. Let's now move in to our next gym. This is our final Jotonian gym, and it should be an absolute breeze, to be honest. I can't really see anywhere where this could go too badly. I am just going to very quickly, though, replace our held item with the pink bow so that we have the 10% boost to our normal type moves. Here in Generation 1 it is a 10% boost, as opposed to the larger boosts that you see in later generations. I believe the same happens in Generation 3, it is just a 10% boost, which does mean with the two generations I focus on the most, Gen 2 and Gen 3, makes it a little bit easier for me to remember and calculate in my head. Not that I've ever been any that good at doing maths in my head. I was always good at written maths, but the second you ask me to calculate something in my head, I just turn to mush. I don't know why either. It shouldn't be as hard as it is. Sometimes, if you've seen me on stream try and count, you'll know exactly what I mean, actually. Also, if you do want to see me stream, let me know and consider subscribing, because I don't really have a regular stream schedule. I just stream as and when I've got the energy. Let's now take on Claire. She is our final Jotonian leader. She's going to be a breeze. We grow up to level 47. It's one-shots on her Dragonair. The only thing we care about is it a one-shot against the Kingdra? It absolutely is. I don't even think that was a range. So we have defeated Claire. Very, very good stuff there. Let us now leave here. We'll stick on our Super Repel, and we can start making our way up towards the Dragon's Den, because of course Claire is a right old fusspot. She's a horrible mardy cow, and she refuses to give us a badge straight away. We're going to pick up the calcium in case I decide to do one last vitamin shop of the challenge. We don't actually need calcium for anything really. But let us now get into the Dragon's Den, and much like the answers to the radio card, we go 1 1 2 1 and 2, and that will prompt Claire to enter into the Dragon Shrine. And she's going to be like, yeah, and give us the badge. There we go, 37.55 for the Rising badge. Very good time overall. I don't know how well we're doing compared to other challenges at the moment, but I know we're on a very good pace nonetheless. Professor Elm's back for no good reason. We'll have to ignore him. We just are in go mode now. We are heading towards the Pokemon League. Already done this, already picked up the ladder from here. So that means we can take a very quick trip up. Oh no, I messed up my movement there. That's fine. If we take on Megan, we won't take on one of the other optionals. Megan could be good, you know. Just in general, she's got fairly good bulk behind her, and her Pokemon are quite bulky as well. Let us now do a cheeky little surf. The repel has worn off. It's all going all kinds of wrong. Let us stick on another repel, and who should we take on? We'll take on Rena. I like Rena. She's a pretty good trainer. She's really good experience because she's got 3 fully evolved, and those Starmie are pretty nippy, all things considered, so you do get a little bit of good stat experience as well. Oh no, I spoke to her. She's going to want to try and chat me up. I'm going to say no. We don't want to be chatted up by Rena. We just want to chat this lady up instead because she heals us. Joyce, go away. Nobody likes you, Joyce. You've got a Pikachu. Who else has got a Pikachu? Red, and nobody likes Red. And you've got a Blastoise. You're just Red on a budget. You are Red from Temu, Wish, AliExpress, one of those. Oh, my movement needs some work. I need to do another one of those step money challenges already. Now, we do have to take on Beth. She is inevitable. Her Rapidash is an easy KO for our URSARING, though, and we'll get this Max Elixir on the loop-de-loop. And with that, we're in Victory Road. That means just one thing. Stick on another repel. Go round here. Go and grab the HP up because I sold the other one for vitamins earlier on. And then we'll go and face the rival for one last battle. This is Rival 5, he's in Victory Road, and he's going to lead with Sneasel Pleasel. One hit on the Sneasel Pleasel is all it takes to knock it out. We'll do the same against the Golbat with Return, and the third Pokemon is Magneton. Now, we probably could one-shot with Return, but we need to use Earthquake for the Haunter anyway, so we might as well play it safe. We'll use Return against the Kadabra, and then we'll also Return against the Feraligatr, and the rival is defeated as quickly as he came, in 40 minutes and 28 seconds. And with that, we are at the Pokemon League. So let's buy our 4 full restores, and then we'll park the timer and take a look at our stats. And now, after a very quick heal at the Pokemon Center, let's take a look at our stats. We are level 50 with 179 HP. We are holding the pink bow with Return, Headbutt, Metal Claw, and Earthquake. 173 in attack, 110 in defense, 111 in the specials, and just 96 in speed. Those, of course, are the out of battle stats. We'll get a big buff in battle, as we'll see now, against Will. He is our first league member. He is a psychic type specialist who's going to lead with Xatu. And this one, it's going to be a breeze. I don't think there's going to be any league member who really stands between us and a quick Hall of Fame time. It's going to be a 2-shot on the Slowbro, annoyingly, but we don't really mind that, because then it's going to be a 1-shot on Xatu, and we are through Will first try. By the way, I league healed because I thought it would be a little bit easier than fumbling in the bag later on for PP restoration items. They're towards the bottom of the bag, so they're a little bit out of sight, out of mind. Let's take on Koga now. He is league member number 2. He is, of course, a poison type specialist. Led with Ariados, then he had a Venomoth, now he's got a Fortress that's a 3-shot. It's going to be a 1-shot on the Muck, and then his final Pokemon is going to be Crobat. We just need 1 return to connect, just like that. We grow up to level 52, and we can take on Bruno. Bruno is a fighting type specialist, which in theory means we could have a bad time, but in practice it's going to be absolutely fine. Headbutt's a 1-shot on the Hitmontop. It's also a 1-shot on the Hitmonlee. Is it going to be a 1-shot on the Hitmonchan, I wonder? Absolutely, of course it is. We'll swap to return for the Machamp, guarantee the 1-shot on that. And then if we use an Earthquake on the Onix, it's also a 1-hit wonder. That's Bruno done. Let us now move on to Karen. We'll use a Super Potion here. We'll use another one as well. And then we'll stick in our 5 rare candies here at this moment as well. Don't think we need anything else. I'll just use a quick elixir. And then we'll take her on. Karen is our final league member. She's a dark type specialist who leads with Umbreon. It's a 1-hit on the Umbreon. It's going to be a 1-hit on the Vileplume as well, hopefully. And that means we have a free end of the battle because we can Earthquake the Gengar. Then if we move over to Headbutt for the Murkrow, we'll get rid of it in 1 hit. And we can also 1-hit the Houndoom. Very, very nice there. That is Karen defeated. That is the Pokemon League done in 42 minutes and 58 seconds. Let's move on to Lance. He is the Liar with the Flyers, and he's going to lead with Gyarados. Very, very good start there. Now, do we 1-shot the Dragonite? That is the important thing to find out. Yes, we do. It's a 1-shot on those Dragonite. We're not going to be bothered by them. Hyper Beam is fine because we can Metal Claw the Aerodactyl. Let us now swap to return for the Charizard, and then we'll be able to return the Dragonite as well. And that was one of the easiest Lance fights we shall ever have. 43 minutes and 32 seconds through the Pokemon League. If this was a challenge just to Johto, I think URSARING would be in a contention for top spot. But this is only half the story. Let's take a look at the midpoint leaderboards. And now, if we take a look at the midpoint leaderboard for 4 moves, we're in 2nd place. Bloody hell. Only about a minute behind Mewtwo there, and well ahead of Charizard. It does mean that poor old Muck is down onto the page 2, and Sunflora is still at the very bottom, but still 110.22 is not bad for bottom place for the midpoint. Girafarig had better watch out because it is next in the drop zone. Let's now take a look at the overall Crystal leaderboard for all of our challenges, and you can see that once again we're in 2nd place. 43.32, 42.49 being the top spot, and all of those I do believe are 4 moves challenges. This format is really bringing out the fast times. You can see there every single category is color coded now on the screen with a little label. So this is something we've done with the leaderboard, try and make it a little bit more legible, because there are an awful lot of runs now that we've been through. So if we see this leaderboard play out in full, you'll see every single video that we've had together here on the channel, and I'm sure you'll be able to spot some of your favourites. There's an URSARING there in 84th place. That was one of my first sub-hour leagues. I was very, very happy with that run. But now, sub-hour league is kind of mandatory to get a good run. Well, it's not even kind of mandatory. We've had sub-hour runs. So sub-hour league definitely is something that isn't that impressive these days. I'm trying to look out for the other URSARINGs. There's another one. 149th place. I think that was our 2nd ever video together. That URSARING was very, very good for its time. 113.24. Pretty unheard of in the early days of the channel. but these days 1:13 should be a slow finishing time, which shows how much we improve over time. Now, at the end of each half, I will show you the full leaderboard just like this. It'll be sped up in future though, so do think about pausing if you want to compare and contrast. But now, don't you dare go anywhere, because Kanto is next. And now we are rejoining the action as we always do here in Vermilion City in Kanto, where the first thing we're going to do in Kanto is grab the rare candy from the chairman of the Pokémon fan club. And with that safely tucked away in our bag for another challenge, we can get on with our Kantonian Gauntlet. Now, I have been doing a little bit of thinking of how I want to do the Kanto sections, and I'm still going to do the live voiceover here in Kanto. I know a couple of people have wondered why I don't say skip ahead anymore to the blue fight, and the honest answer is I'm doing this recording as I am playing the game, so I don't know when blue is, and I'd really like it if you stuck around for more of the videos, to be perfectly honest. Let us now take on Surge. He's our first Kantonian leader. He is an electric type specialist rather, who led with Raichu. It's going to be one-shot City here. No two ways about it. I reckon Headbutt would have one-shot everyone there. But that is our first Kantonian leader down. That is the Thunder Badge acquired. Let us now get out of here and we'll start heading towards Saffron City, because that is where our next leader is going to live. We're going to go up into the gym here and we're going to take on Sabrina. Sabrina is a psychic type specialist. She lives here in Saffron City and she is gym leader number 2 of 8 here in Kanto. It's a one-shot on the Peskeon, it's a one-shot on the Mr. Mime as well. Here comes the Alakazam, we outspeed, we get rid of it in one hit, and that is Sabrina done. Marsh Badge acquired. Let us keep on ploughing forward now. We can use the Rentalabra to get ourselves back to the other half of Saffron City here. And we've got the bike shop call. That was a very late bike shop call. Goodness me, I wonder if something's gone on there with the bike shop call, because that shouldn't have been quite so late. Better late than never though. I will have to trace that. Maybe the Poké Crystal 16 has it stored in slightly different ways to the regular Poké Crystal. Maybe I've just not been on the bike that much. Either way though, it has now leveled out, so we do have that little interruption from the bike shop as we make our way in to the next gym. Can you believe it? She's an easy gym leader, trainer, Thurston. My brain is still a little bit mush at the moment when it comes to talking. I will get back into the swing of it eventually, I promise. It might just take another video or two for me to get back into the flow. And I've got to record Emerald next. Goodness knows how that's going to go. Please do spare your thoughts for that one. It's going to be a tough one. I will get into, actually, part of Nugget Bridge today. I want to talk about why Emerald is one of those runs here on the channel that always gets a bit of a false start and then never really went anywhere. And it's not through lack of trying, because I really do like Pokemon Emerald. It's one of my all-time favourite games, not just all-time favourite Pokemon games, just games in general. But there were a few things that made challenge running it incredibly difficult. The same with Fire Red, actually. But I'm hoping that some of the changes I've made to the back end will make it a little bit easier to record in the future. And of course, we've not done a live voiceover Emerald yet either, but I'm getting ahead of myself. We've got one more gym before we even think about Nugget Bridge, and this is Janine's gym here in Fuchsia City. She is a poison type specialist who led with Crobat. Crobat's a one-shot, Weezing's also going to be a one-shot as we grow up to 62. Here comes Weezing number 2, it goes down in the same way as Weezing number 1. The Spooder can do nothing, and neither will her Venomoth. She uses the Dire Hit today. She wants to make us lose 5 or 6 frames. That's fine. Soul Badge acquired in 48:29. Let us now move on from here. And so we've just been through Rock Tunnel. We've had a little chat with the manager at the power plant, and now we are ready to do Nugget Bridge. Now, I did mention that I was going to talk about Pokemon Emerald in this Nugget Bridge, and that isn't a lie. We just need to get on to the bridge for me to start talking about it. Now, here's the thing with Pokemon Emerald. The videos for the pre-recorded voiceovers, or should I say the voiceovers done in post, they always ended up being an hour to an hour and a few minutes long, and that, when you don't have a script and you don't know what you're saying in an unfamiliar environment, is very, very difficult for me. So that is one of the reasons why Emerald took a bit of a backseat. I really enjoyed streaming it, but I couldn't really get in the place where I could stream a game that I then wasn't doing pre-recorded videos with. However, I'm going to give Emerald one last try, and much like with Generation 2, where 4 moves is our regular game mode now, I'm going to bring that to Generation 3 as well. I really love 4 moves. It's my favourite format to play on the time challenges. Not my favourite format overall. That goes to Supermon. I bloody adore Supermon, and I am so excited to bring Supermon not only to Generation 2, but eventually to Generations 1 and 3 as well. I've started the code for Generation 1 Supermon. I'm quite a way through the code for Generation 3 Supermon, so we do have those to look forward to, hopefully in the near-ish future. But that is Nugget Bridge done for another challenge. Let's get ourselves to Misty. She is our next leader. She's a water-type specialist. She is going to lead with Golduck. Again, it's going to be one-shot city here. No two ways about it. I don't know why I've got 2 resets there. I think my controller has been a little bit oversensitive recently when it comes to picking up the resets. It's oversensitive in places, actually, and undersensitive other times. It's very, very annoying. But what can you do when everything is linked to a controller so that I don't have to take my hands off it so that I can keep on playing? That was one of the things, actually, about creating the auto splitter, because I'd lose time doing the splits for each gym leader, but I didn't want to lose the splits for each gym leader. So that's why we ended up with the auto splitter, and it was a fun little thing to code as well. I hope I've got enough rappel steps now after that truly awful movement there in the power plant. At least I make up for it here with a pretty good movement into the radio tower in Kanto. I think it's a little bit mean, actually, that they knocked out the Pokemon Graveyard in place of just the radio tower. No shiny Snorlax today, unfortunately. We'll have to wait another challenge. We've not had either a shiny Sudowoodo or a shiny Snorlax ever here on the channel. And I know it's not guaranteed, but I would have thought at least by now I would have had one, because I've done quite a few challenges at this point, haven't I? So you'd think, combined with our Nuzlocke, with our 4 moves, with our standard challenges, with our end of the line, with our egg move challenges, one of them would have been shiny, but no. We just get random shinies in the Sprout Tower a lot of the time. Or especially that route south of Goldenrod. If I dare to step in the grass there, it feels like it's about an 80% chance I'll get a shiny sometimes. Let's now take on Brock, next gym leader. He is going to be just as easy as all of the others that have preceded him. And that is 53 minutes and 28 seconds for the Boulder Badge. Let us now get off the bike here and get past 3 Drill. We'll say a quick hello to him. He is one of the friends of the channel, but we're on such a good pace today that we don't particularly want to worry ourselves with battling him. I am going to stick on a rappel here. I forgot to do that in the bag. That's absolutely fine. Let us now keep on going down south. We've got 2 gym leaders left to go, and then the red fight, and 6 minutes to get sub-hour. Not saying it's possible with URSARING, because URSARING isn't particularly fast, so the red fight is going to rely entirely on luck, but we should easily get to red with a few minutes to spare. Let us now take on Blaine. He's our next gym leader. He's a fire-type specialist, leads with Magcargo. It's going to be a one-shot on the Magcargo. We'll swap to return for the Bumhead Fireduck, and then we'll keep on returning for the Rapidash. Very, very easy battle there. Blaine is defeated. Volcano Badge acquired in 54-33. Now, the next battle might not be quite so easy, you know. It could end up being a little bit tricky, because I'm not sure how we are going to fare against good old Rhydon. If we can defeat Rhydon in one hit, we should be in with a good chance of getting through very easily. But it all depends. This is Blue. He is the penultimate trainer of the battle. He leads with Pidgeot. Pidgeot is absolutely going to be a one-shot. Alakazam doesn't go for Reflect. That is good. That is a really good bit of luck. Let us try a Metal Claw on turn 1. Earthquake, no Sandstorm. Brilliant. This is the luck we need. We're not guaranteed yet, but this is some phenomenal blue luck. We can one-shot the Gyarados, we can one-shot the Executor, we grow up to level 66. Here comes Arcanine, there goes Arcanine, clean, clean, clean blue. Earth Badge acquired in 55 minutes and 30 seconds. That means we can now fly over to Pallet Town. We'll have a little chat with Oak here. He's going to unlock Silver Cave for us and whinge that we've only seen one Pokemon. And then we can be on our merry way. Let's stick on a Repel there. We'll go back to Viridian City and we shall see what happens. Whatever happens now, we can be proud of URSARING. 0 resets through until Silver Cave is always something I'm happy with. And we can try and get sub-hour. Don't know if it'll be possible, but I will give it a bloody good go. So here we are in front of Red for this challenge. He's a mixed type specialist. He's the final trainer of the challenge. He leads with Pikachu. We get the Quick Claw. That's good. Here comes Espeon. Psychic does a lot of damage. Goodness me. But that means we can at least see the Snorlax. He goes straight in for the Body Slam. That is not good. I think we're on a reset. I don't know if sub-hour is actually possible here, but we'll give it a bloody good go. Regardless, we know that we can one-shot everything. It's just about this Quick Claw luck. How about the Snorlax? I'm going to fish for a Metal Claw, you know. Critical hit's not really anything useful. No. I do think Metal Claw might be a good play, though. We're just going to keep on trying. And keep on trying is exactly what happened, but 69 attempts after starting Red, I finally got the luck I needed to get through this horrible, horrible battle. It's never pleasant with URSARING, and we did lose a lot of time because of this Red fight. In the end, though, we got very lucky. We got the double attack boost off Metal Claw. That then meant that Venusaur was a guaranteed one-shot. It also meant that Charizard was a guaranteed one-shot. We didn't get burnt by Flamethrower. I think I would have chucked my console out of the window if I did. And then we could easily one-shot the Blastoise. That means we still get a perfectly respectable time of 1 hour, 4 minutes and 47 seconds. So let's now take a look at the leaderboards. So yeah, that Red fight for URSARING is brutal. We're down in 10th place on our 4 moves leaderboard. Still very much in the top third of challenges, and it does push Machamp down into 11th place. Spare a thought for Paul for Sunflora, still down there in 33rd place. Now, if we take a look at the overall leaderboard for the URSARING challenge, we're in 13th. Unlucky for some, and it was unlucky for URSARING on the day. We're in between Kyogre's backport and Archeops's backport, and just ahead of Machamp's 4 moves challenge there as well. And getting close to the front page in the overall leaderboard, I'm not going to complain at that. But now, as the rest of the leaderboard plays out in the background, I will say thank you all so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring you another Pokémon Crystal Solo challenge, and in the next video we're going to do another fun challenge as well. Make sure to like if you've enjoyed this video. You can always feel free to subscribe as well if you want to see more videos just like this. If you've got any feedback, leave it in the comments down below. But until next time, I will say thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all very, very soon.